Hey, good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life, bringing you a word of the day. And the word for today is freedom from and freedom to. And it's probably one of the shortest quotes that we've had so far. We are going to know a new freedom, and that is from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 83, also known as the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And this is a daily commentary. Freedom for me is both freedom from and freedom to. The first freedom I enjoy is freedom from slavery of alcohol. What a relief. Then I begin to experience freedom from fear of people, of economic insecurity, of commitment, of failure, of rejection. Then I begin to enjoy freedom. And this is so very true. Uh, the big one for me was fear of failure. I'm a very much, I don't know if it goes along with my mathematical mind, but uh, I like everything to absolutely fit together, which isn't really a good attitude to have when you're dealing with people and, complex things because they don't quite fit like that. And uh, there's nothing I can do about that except to adjust myself. Uh, we say the prayer, accept the things I cannot change, and I can't change the world, but I can change myself in how I interpret and react to the world. And that's all anybody really can do. But freedom from the slavery of alcohol. I would have made the argument that I could control my alcohol anytime I wanted. I just enjoyed doing it, and I was going to come up with a way to do it in safety. In the meantime, on the way home from work, I'd go to several different liquor stores, particularly when I had the Chevy S10 pickup. It was a nice green model, and I could put them in the back, so I could carry quite a lot, more than you could put in a trunk. And I'd put them out in my garage. I've said in previous videos, I had a garage that was a 3-horse barn converted into a garage for cars. And I didn't use the garage for my car. I kept my car outside, and I used the barn mainly for storage of all the things that I couldn't get rid of, which was just about everything. Boy, did I keep the baggage of my past, and all the cans. I bought Miller Lite 16-ounce cans, 24 cans to a case. I don't even know what it is now. Every once in a while, Publix will have a flyer with liquor and beer. And I don't think they sell. They'd probably be too expensive. It was like $12 a case the last time I drank, and I don't know what it would be now. I haven't bought any in almost 34 years. Fear of people. I didn't really have a fear of people. They just annoyed me. I wanted to drink, and they were a hindrance to my drinking. Uh, Economic insecurity. Well, I had a very good job at the bank, and I always thought this can't last forever, and it didn't. Uh, Not that I got fired or anything, but I was working at the times when all the banks were merging, and this little Rhode Island bank that I worked for, that I really did love the job. It gave me a chance. I learned every single day. I didn't work with the public. This was just an IT job at night in the computer room. I had a staff of about maybe 11 people. And then there were accounts rec people there that worked all night. And I loved the third shift. And I knew that eventually, with all the rumors of banks taking other banks over, that the job would be gone. And it did, but I got another job right away. And I just happened to get a job with an insurance company that insured a bunch of homes in Alaska, and they had like a 8.0 earthquake, and they went broke. So, eventually the job went. They transferred me to Boston. I had to work in Boston. I really didn't like the commute. Crazy, crazy, crazy commute. They drive in the breakdown lane. I never got used to that ever. Uh, I couldn't take public transport because of the hours that I worked. 11 to 7. I didn't want to walk around Southie. It was right near the JFK library. So eventually they went out. And then I went back to school and I got a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. And I did that whole thing sober. Never picked up a drink all that time. My sobriety came just before I left the Bank of Boston. I knew that things were ending, that they were going to get rid of me because they didn't really need me anymore. And I said, I don't want this to be like every other time I was laid off or something where I just saw it as an opportunity to drink 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get a good. I could live off. I could live off the unemployment benefits. They were very generous in Rhode Island. It was 60% of your pay, and this time they gave me a severance pay. They never kept track of my sick time, but I did what they owed me, and they had to give me a very generous check for that. And they fought me getting unemployment benefits, but I found a thing in the law that they couldn't make you travel more than 57 miles to a new job, and that job was actually like 63, 64 miles. So I got unemployment benefits, and but I just didn't want to go through that again. I had done it times before when they had layoffs, and all I did was drink, and I had nothing to show for it. Not that I was going broke, but I had nothing to show for my time. I just drank, and I didn't want to go through that again. So I didn't. I got sober on March 4th, 1991, and I was laid off in June of 1991. So I had like 3 to 4 months sobriety under my belt. And I was gung ho for being sober and went to a lot of meetings. And I did use the opportunity. I didn't rush out and get a job. I used it to get more secure in my sobriety. And then I found a wonderful position for that insurance company that was going under. And they said as long as I stayed with them right till the very end, that they'd pay my health insurance and give me a severance package. And so I did. And I went to nursing school with health insurance provided by the company I was working for. Even though, at that point they wanted someone to run their operations at night. And so they gave me all these extra benefits. And I honored the agreement that we had. And then I was laid off from that job when they didn't need anybody anymore. And I rolled right into a job as a CNA. It was much less than what I was getting paid, but you can learn to live on less. And I was never really a big spender. I've always saved money, even when I was drinking. Like I said, the cases of beer were maybe $12, and even if I went through one of them a day, it'd only be $84 a week. At this point, I wasn't going out drinking, so what I bought, I drank, and I didn't have to tip anyone. I wasn't going to the bars buying people drinks or anything. I was sitting home. So, you know, it wasn't really affecting me financially. And I always was a perfectionist. They call us egomaniacs with an inferiority complex, and that's basically what I was. I didn't want to ever get anything wrong. I didn't lie about it if I did, but I felt very guilty, and I should have known that. So I kind of chucked that. And I wasn't really cavalier in how I thought about things. I still wanted to do a good job, but if something happened, I didn't go into a tailspin. And that is all due to being sober. Accept the things I cannot change the things I can, and have the wisdom to know the difference. And eventually, after 3 years of working with that insurance company, even though it was broke, it was going out of business slowly. It still had to service insurance policies and everything, and that's what I did at night on the computer. And yeah, so I, you know, I changed. I changed very much. I enjoyed going to school. When I got my degree in mathematics and went to graduate school for mathematics, I was drinking all the time. If any group of students was going to the student union, eventually when the age dropped down to 18, they opened a bar on campus, and I was right there. I was there. But coming back at the age of 43, sober, I didn't have any interest in drinking. So I'd go home and study. I'd go to my job. I could study, even there, I could study. And I get out in the morning, so I had really a new freedom. I didn't waste a second drinking. I didn't waste a second trying to procure alcohol. It was a great life. I got more done. I couldn't believe how much I got done. I like, just say like cleaning. Say I had to wash the floor. Well, if I was drinking, I'd say, well, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll have more time tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow I never had more time. And, I actually had time on my hands because I wasn't drinking. And I went out and I took 4 years of Russian, so I speak Russian. And it's helped me along. It's helped me with patients in the hospital because we got a lot of Russian emigres in Rhode Island at the time that I was entering nursing, and it helped me there. But I was able to read all the books that I really enjoyed, all the Russian classics, Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, and read them in Russian, which I really enjoyed doing. So this is short, but I'm giving the longest talk I've ever given on one of these. It's so true. It's freedom, freedom, freedom. Thank God at last. Thank God we're free at last. And so that's it for me on this Friday, January 30th. Boy, we are coming to the close of this month. I can remember when it started, the new year, and here we are at the end of January. And here in Florida, it's warmed up. We went through that cold spell Had to cover all the plants, put towels around them, tops, because 24 hours of below freezing and they would have died. But they're all alive on my porch, and I'm very happy. Had I been drinking, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have time to do it. I wouldn't wanted to interrupt my, my sitting down drinking, watching television. And I'd get to it tomorrow, and by the time I get to it, the freeze is already over. So God bless, and see you tomorrow.